Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you out there in the virtual neighborhood. It is so good to be back here with you this week. I am always so excited to have an opportunity to do a solo show with you. I don't do them that often. We do have guests lined up for the next 3, 4, 5 shows, but I thought today I would come to you because I don't know if you have been feeling, but I know I have. I've been feeling a little bit of anxiety. Bonjour, G. Bonjour. I've been feeling a little bit of anxiety going through my daily activities and just trying to figure out, am I forgetting something? I find I feel rushed. My schedule is I go from back to back to back meetings on Zoom, and I just feel like I'm rushing through my life, and it's making me crazy. And so I just wanted to touch base with all of you this morning on this stress that we're having to live with during COVID-19 and this pandemic and this shelter in place, and how helpless some of us might be feeling. But before we get into the topic, I want you to share. I want you to subscribe. I want you to go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Life is a Sacred Journey. Right now, share right now, so that hit that share button so that other people will join the conversation. And in the comment area, if there's something that you do that is different and special around stress and creating joy in your life, please put them in the comment area and we will share them. So come on and join us for Life is a Sacred Journey, and it's so great to see all of you. It's such an honor and a blessing to serve you in this way. So the first thing I want to talk about is this. G just told me I have on beautiful colors. I must have known you were coming to join us this morning, G. But this is a mask. This is a new kind of mask that my friend Karen, she's the mask guru. She's helping me understand all this. And I love this mask because I can pull it up, leave my earrings out, because I'm a fashionista, and put my glasses down on top. Usually they're sunglasses, and there's no air fogging, there's nothing happening, everything is nice and tight. And then it also, anyone who knows me knows I love scarves, even though in the summer I don't wear them, but that gives you a different look and keeps that fashion look. You can push it down. When I go walking with the dogs, I wear a different one similar to this. And then when I'm walking by people who might be afraid, or, you can tell that people are a little nervous, I pull it up. So this is a really cool, and I have a tendency when I'm on camera to want to mess with my hair too. So all these things happen when we're doing Life is a Sacred Journey. But get this mask. This is a really comfortable one. I would suggest, if you're going to be talking and be around a lot of people, I would wear another mask under it because it is thin. That's why it's comfortable to wear for somebody like me who is an asthmatic. I find that this is real easy for me to wear. But if you're going to be in a room with a lot of other masked people, you might want to wear that thin blue mask under, or put a gauze, or fold it and stick it so it covers your mouth. All right, so it is so good. Again, Life is a Sacred Journey is here for you. Hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, and get more people involved. Good morning, Sister T. It's so good to see you. This morning we're talking about anxiety and stress, and hopefully get to the other side of it where we can talk about how we can overcome that with a little bit of joy. So I want to thank my producer, Felicia, for always making me look good, always checking in on me to make sure that I'm feeling okay before we go live, because she knows how nervous I get about going live. I love the anonymity of being just a podcast producer, but I love this. I love this. So G says when he feels stressed, he listens to my podcast for my magical mantras. Oh, I love that. Michelle's magical mantras. That's a new show. Maybe that's the name of my book, G. I'm going to change the name of my book in honor of G. Michelle's magical mantras. I'm digging that. Okay. And if you like that, give it a thumbs up. So let's get into the stress of what is happening to all of us for during this pandemic. And again, as I said, I'm beginning to feel a little anxious and a little nervous. I feel like I'm dropping the ball on a couple of things. Back-to-back Zoom meetings can be extremely stressful. And working from home, believe it or not, even though I love my home and I love living in the comfort of my home, I can't work there. It is not a place that I set up for work. It's a place that I set up for my life, to enjoy my life. My dogs are always around. They hate it when I'm on Zoom. And so working at home is not so easy. And you really have to set it up in order to work at home. So the first thing I'm going to say, if you are working from home, set up a private space where you can really get away from your home. And what I mean is the distractions of, I start laundry, when I'm home, and then I can hear the laundry beeping telling me to come back to the garage. Well, I wouldn't be doing that if I were at work, and that just stresses me out because now I want to go get the laundry, put it in the dryer, and it's a distraction from the meeting. So any place that you can create as a workspace, don't let it invade your home though, because when it does, like your kitchen table, I started there, and then the next thing I knew, I had stuff on the kitchen table when I wanted to eat or cook. That again, there's no division. And the stress sometimes from working from home comes because there's no division between work life and your private life. And so how do we get there where we can create that division at home? Some of the different symptoms that we know that we experience when we're stressed out is anxiety. Sometimes that anxiety is good. I know for me here at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, I have to write grants. And I get really anxious when I have to write those grants, and the deadlines are actually a motivator for me. So I use that deadline as to create a little bit of stress, but it motivates my writing. It helps me to be a better writer. So that's good stress, because it's not stress that I'm carrying day after day, moment by moment. It's only episodic. It only happens when, and it's good because it's not the kind of stress where I'm feeling, doom and gloom, but I'm feeling more like excited because I'm trying to, pull energy out of my head to put on paper so that people will fund the grant. And so stress can come and make us physically and mentally. I know when I get stressed out, I get tired. I want to sleep. I like to take naps when I'm feeling stressed out, and that's just go in my room, put some calm music on. I now have Calm on Alexa, and I don't talk to her very much, but when I do, I say to her, Alexa, turn on Calm, and the next thing I know, I have the calm music, and I'm relaxing. I meditate. Meditation is good to also get into that napping mode, and then I make sure there's no light coming in my room so that I can nap in a way. And those power naps are really important. 30 minutes, an hour of a power nap whenever you can is very helpful. And as we get older, it's also very, very invigorating. Actually, it's probably invigorating for everyone. I remember watching my kids take naps when they were little, and they would wake up just like it was a brand new day. And so taking a nap can really, really help. Another symptom that you may be experiencing because of stress is headaches or dizziness. Again, the physical manifestation of stress is a headache, is dizziness, muscle tension or pain. I get that in my neck and in my sciatic. So if I'm in the middle of a whole bunch of stress, like oppressive stress, I will get to a place where I'm not able to even get out of the bed. I will not be able to move. My sciatic will get so inflamed from that stress that it creates mobility issues. And also in the neck. I carry my stress. I have a tendency to do this, crunch in, and, constantly opening my chest up throughout the day, not leaning into the computer. I actually just bought a posture brace that I'll bring next week to show to you, so that it'll help me keep my posture up and keep that core straight and hold your belly in. All of these things help with that physical muscle tension and pain that comes from stress. You may experience stomach problems. A lot of people get stomach problems when they are stressed out, and that can be indigestion, that can be anything, just feeling that sense of like something's wrong, heaviness, digesting the food properly. And so drinking water and drinking enough raw foods to make sure that your system is flowing. I'm reading this incredible book called The Plant Paradox about pardon me, about, vegetarians and vegans and raw food. And yes, those are ultimately the best ways to eat, but you don't have to just eat vegetables and fruits, and you can have meat in your diet and seafood and things in your diet, but it's the amount of it because of the way that it breaks down in the muscle tissue. And as we get older, we have more fat. Molecules in our bodies, and the bad toxins from some of the foods that we eat are attracted by those fat cells. So we want to make sure that we look at our stomach, chest pain, a harder and faster. Here goes that East Coast accent. I love it when it happens, though, because it reminds me where I'm from. That the heartbeat gets faster and harder in your chest. You can sometimes even hear it. I've had those moments where I've heard my heartbeat just going, and so that could be stress. Some mental symptoms are difficulty concentrating, where you just can't focus. You've tried to read that book a couple of times. It's there. You love that book, but you're still on that same chapter. And every time you go back to the book, you're still there. You can't move forward. You can't concentrate. You're not enjoying really reading it because you just can't concentrate. And that could be a sign of stress, and that's when taking a break, taking a deep breath, and we'll do a breath exercise. My sister Teresa, Sister T, does a breathing exercise, what we call prayer breath, every Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock. Hope United Methodist Church. Please join us if you're up that early for morning meditation and centering once a week. And Sister T is the facilitator of that. But she does the breathing, and breathing is important. Feeling overwhelmed. This pandemic can be overwhelming anybody because we're worried about our employment status. We're worried about whether or not we're going to have enough money. We're going to really go into 2021 being in the house, sheltering in place. Are we really going to have a vaccine in 9 months or whenever? We're just worried. And the news and the television is just killing us. I was home for the last couple of days, and again, all of you know I don't watch television, but I've become a YouTube geek, and I was anxious. By Wednesday evening, I was so anxious watching all the news from around the world and all the stuff that's happening, all the pain. I watched in some city where a black woman and her children were taken out of a car because they thought that the car was stolen, when in fact the vehicle they were looking for was a motorcycle. And I was watching this, and it kept coming up on my YouTube feed, and it just infuriated me. And by the time I was done watching it for the 50 millionth time, I was in tears, and I was feeling so much pain for the world and wanting to do something, but feeling powerless because of where we are in this shelter in place and all of that. So we will be using social media more in a way to have more in-depth conversations. Felicia and I have been talking about how we can take this platform and actually do some webinars and different things around this conversation, because I don't know about you, but when I see those videos and they're happening now, when we all are walking around with posters that say Black Lives Matter, something's wrong, because somebody's not getting the message. When you put a child, I'm getting mad, when you put a little child down, face down, handcuffed on the concrete, when you're supposed to be looking for a motorcycle and not a car. That makes no logical sense to me. And this is not about, for those folks that have hit me up on my Facebook telling me that I hate police. No, I do not hate police. I do not. So stop saying that. I have friends that are police officers. I have young people in my life that are police officers, but let me just say something to you, the person who wrote that to me. There is no way that those individuals that I know that are police officers that would have a woman and their children on the concrete handcuffed when they didn't do anything. So I'm not talking about those police officers. So stop deflecting because you don't want us to have this conversation. We're talking about police officers who continually go out into the community that they have pledged and said they were going to serve, hurting individuals out of fear, out of misinformation, and out of a system that we have put together that has made it so. So I send that out to that person who decided that they wanted to school me. I hope that I have helped you in some way to understand. Don't put words in people's mouths. And when people are talking about Black Lives Matter, they're not talking about those incredible men and women that have decided to become police officers or peace officers. I'm going to call them peace officers, because they go into the community to create peace and to keep us all safe. So I'm sorry for that, the rest of you, but that came up for me because I'm looking at the Facebook chat and I'm remembering this person hitting me up on Facebook, reprimanding me for that. And I'm just going to say to you, how dare you, because you caused me a lot of mental stress. Because you overwhelmed me. So feeling overwhelmed. And when people Facebook and ugly people come on Facebook and say ugly things because they want to deflect from their ugliness, that can create stress for all of us. And so we have to walk away. Constantly worrying and being forgetful. So what happens when you get stressed out is you begin to forget. And as we get older, we start to think, whoa, do I have Alzheimer's? Is this dementia? It's a good thing to think about, particularly if you're 60 or over, and we do have early onset Alzheimer's. But at the end of the day, stress can create a whole lot of forgetfulness. You don't sleep the same. You sleep in a worried state instead of truly resting. So know that before you diagnose yourself with dementia or Alzheimer's, go to the doctor first, have a neurological exam, ask them to do a mini mental and figure it out. But if it's stress, let's talk about how you can help yourself. And if it continues for a while and turns into anxiety or depression, we will also talk about some resources to get help. Changes in the behavior that may come up, and we talked about them being irritable and snappy. I know I can be irritable and snappy. Ask my children. When I am stressed out, I am irritable and snappy, and I start to hear things in the wrong way, and that's when I go to my room. I sequester myself to my room. I say, go to your room, Micheal. You are not human worthy. So sometimes we're not human worthy, and we have to separate ourselves and I'm my dogs are where I go when I'm not human worthy, and we usually go for a walk, and thank God I'm able to run a little bit, not much anymore, but a little bit, and that way I become human worthy again, because sometimes I want to snap at people and become irritable, and that's not good, and it's not healthy for us to do that. We sleep too much, we sleep too little when we're tired. Good morning, Sister Selby. It's good to see you this morning. Selby Ewing is our communications director for the Cal Nevada Conference of the Methodist denomination, and it has become a really great friend and ally to me in my capacity with the church, but also outside. And so I just want to thank her for joining us this morning. We can eat too much. I'm one of those people. I'm an anxiety eater. Yes, I am, believe it or not. If I'm upset, I can go off of my fasting, I can go off of a diet and just monja. And it usually happens at night, which is the worst time to eat a big portion of food. But if I'm stressed, I like to eat, and I like crunchy things, so I'm learning now to put raw foods when I get stressed, so I'm eating less. Like my favorite candy in the whole wide world, hot tamales, you guys. I buy the boxes of them, and I will eat them when I'm stressed out, and I don't know why, but you know, that's just my psychosis. So we eat too much, and sometimes that gets in the way. We need to avoid certain places and people, and if we're smokers, as I used to be, I used to smoke more when I was under stress. I have not been smoking for many years now, but you know, I have the sensation for it. Every once in a while I want to have one so badly, and I can always tell it's centered around stress, because stress and smoking a cigarette and having a cup of coffee when I was in the corporate world really was calming for me. Sandy, my friend Sandy says, give me salt. Yes, Sandy. Potato chips. Oh my gosh. A bag of Lay's potato chips, the original, the yellow bag, hands down, delicious, okay? And when you're stressed out, they're magnificent. For some people, it's ice cream, you know, whatever. But know these things. Don't beat yourself up about it. Every once in a while, I have to have a bag of Lay's potato chips, and I'm going to eat it. If my doctor's online, I'm going to eat it. So I'm not going to deny myself of it. It's when it becomes more of a habit that's more of an issue. So let's talk about what you can do. You can try talking to your friends and sharing with them, just like we do here on Life is a Sacred Journey, like I do with my good friends that are coming up in the chat, Sandy and G and Sister T and Felicia and Selby. Pick up the phone, talk to people, you know, and share your sadness. You know, that's what I used to love about Eeyore. I love Winnie the Pooh, and I love all the characters. You know, definitely they are personality characters, great writing. But Eeyore was never, you know, they would go and get Eeyore, and he would still be doom and gloom with the little cloud around him and everything, but he still hung out with his friends. And every once in a while, in every situation, Eeyore would have a happy moment. And so just hang out with people that you know bring joy into your life, and not those naysayer people. As I'm getting older, the naysayer people, I have to say, I have to not hang with them, because the gratitude attitude is the thing that gets us through life. It doesn't mean that I'm judging them, so don't get it twisted. I'm not judging people, but what I'm saying is the person that every time you say how you doing, they go oh, or the person that you know that just has nothing good to say about life. We can pray for those people, we can meditate for those people, but we cannot fix them. And so it is, gratitude is an adoption of an attitude that no matter what happens, you're going to try to find a way to get through it. Now, there are those of us that are dealing with mental health, and it's not easy to get through depression. It's not easy to get through those doomy, gloomy, sad moments. But we can with support and help. We can get help from the crisis hotlines. The suicide hotlines. There's a group that called Samaritans, and you can call them or email them, and they are just there for you to talk to them, and they will listen. Listening becomes really important if you want to be a good friend to somebody who is depressed or feeling anxiety. Just being quiet and listening. Find out what your stress busters are. For me, it's getting outside. Outside. I got to get outside. Consider creating your own peer support group. I was in a conversation with some people yesterday, and somebody said to me, well, what can we do? And I've been thinking about that and meditating on that this all night and this morning. And you know what? We can do something. We can always do something. The smallest little thing may seem like nothing, but it will be something, and it will help. So make sure you're doing something that will help somebody else, because it will certainly help you and make you feel better. Listen to the free mental health well-being tapes and videos that are on Facebook and YouTube. I went online last night preparing for this conversation, and there's a plethora of them. And again, some of them are kind of goofy and strange, if some of them, but some of them are really good. And again, as I've always told you, one of my mother's favorite thing was eat the meat and throw away the bones. In anything that you do, you're not going to always resonate with everything, but take the good stuff and incorporate it in your life. I'm going to close by giving you 10 things that you can do. And again, this is, I got this out of the meditation. I subscribe to a meditation magazine, and the 10 strategies they gave, which I thought were incredible. Acknowledge your feelings. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Do not be ashamed to say, I'm feeling some kind of way. The world has taught us that we're supposed to be perfect and that we're supposed to be on all the time, and that is impossible. And that's why we are in this stress mode that we're in this world today. So just acknowledge your feelings, write them down in a journal. Get a journal. This is a great journal that it's the Becoming Journal, Michelle Obama's, that I got as a gift. And why I like it is because it prompts you. It has prompters, so that sometimes you open your book and you can't figure out what to write in your journal. Well, this one prompts you and asks you questions or motivates thought motivations, and you can figure those things out. So write, guys, write, or talk to yourself. I'm a great talk to myself person. The dog's following me around, and I'm having great dissertations walking around my house. And you can do that, and it's okay. Keep doing those kind of things. Keep a positive outlook on life. Keep a positive outlook on life. Another word of wisdom from my mother would always be, well, don't think your life is so bad, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. You're looking in thinking everybody else's life is better than yours, but you don't know what's going on behind those closed doors. And stop judging your life against other people's lives. Just love your life. Keep a positive outlook. Good morning, Robert. Thank you for joining me this morning. And then stay in control of your feelings and emotions. I am so not the person to give you this advice. I am not. I do not know how to stay in control when I get angry or passionate about something, but I agree with them. We can't get in our feelings about everything, and we kind of have to breathe and move on.
90 seconds.
So we got 90 seconds, but I'm going to keep going. We have to prepare for change, because change is inevitable. It's going to happen. We must always prepare for that change in life. Getting older, finances, change is every day. It changes, right? The way the sky looks today is not the way it looked yesterday. Change is going to happen. We must prepare for the change. Don't neglect yourself. I was the best person to be thriving on neglect. I thrive on personal neglect. So I'm here to tell you that I've learned since September of 2019 how to not thrive on neglect. And it means watering my own garden, taking care of my own self, and sometimes saying no. And not feeling that humongous sense of guilt where I felt when I said no that the world would fall apart when I said no. And that's my service heart. That's my heart to serve. And so you'll find joy when you don't neglect yourself, because you'll spend more time with yourself, getting to know yourself and nurturing yourself. Set realistic goals. I'm trying to lose some weight here, but I am not trying to lose 5 pounds a week. I'm only trying to lose 1 pound a week. And so far I've accomplished that goal because it's realistic. The other night I ate something I shouldn't have eaten, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was quite delicious, okay? And so the reality is 1 pound a week. So set realistic goals for yourself. I wanted to go back to running 5 miles. That's not going to happen. I walk a whole mile in the morning. I run half of that and walk the rest of it. And so be it. At least I'm up and out. Embrace new possibilities. What are the new possibilities that are going to come out of this sheltering in place, this pandemic? How might we be changed as individuals and persons living in this world? It's a good thought. How can we do that in this world? Embracing new. And then let go of the past. There's nothing you can do about the past. There's nothing you can do about mistakes that you've made. You have to, of course, acknowledge those mistakes. Say I'm sorry to whom you've offended, and sometimes you have to say you're sorry to yourself because you've offended yourself. I've done that. Say you're sorry. Write it in your journal so you can learn from it. Try not to repeat the mistake again, but move on. Living in the rearview mirror of your life only allows you to get into an accident going forward. So let the past alone. It's gone. There's nothing we can do about it, but we can do great things today and in the future. And relax. Relax, relax, relax. Spend some time sitting down doing absolutely nothing. Turn your cell phone off and turn off all the sounds that may come in that distract you, and take time to relax. And when you do that, you will find joy in your heart. Take time to laugh. I laugh at myself all the time. I just had a fashion show the other day. I sorted out all the dresses in my closet to determine which ones fit and didn't fit. And I have a goal to wear all the dresses in my closet. But I had to have a fashion show. It was just me and the dogs. And I put on every single dress. And I had a fashion show. And Alpha and Daisy sat very quietly and watched their mother have fun. And I laughed. There was nobody at the house but me. Yes, I am insane. But I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. There were some dresses that I put on that I could not figure out why I ever even purchased them. So laugh at yourself. Enjoy your life. It's a great life. It's got drama. I've lived long enough to know it's got drama, and every week if I look for the drama, I can find it. But as we go forward in life, we've got to pay attention to the things that make our hearts just soar. We've got to pay attention to the relationships that are good for us. And we have to find that place to love ourselves. Because when you love yourself, it is and it's far easier to love someone else. So my name is Micheal Pope, if you don't know who I am, and this is Life is a Sacred Journey. And I want to thank all of you for joining us. Next week, I believe we're going to have Better Place Forest with us. And the following week, we have, I think, Stuart Furman, and then we have somebody else the following week. So join us for this wonderful opportunity to learn more about how to navigate this wonderful sacred journey that we call life. And I want to thank you for letting me be your conductor for a half hour every single Friday. May God bless your day, and peace to you. All right. Be well, everybody. Love you. Have a great day. Sandy, love you. Love you, Teresa. Love you, T. Love you, G. Love all of you. Robert, it's so good. Thank you all so much for joining Life is the Sacred Journey. We wouldn't be here unless you were here. Thank you, Anna, unless you were here with us. So have a good day. Hug yourself. Hug yourself. All right, peace.